everyone, my name is Anna and today I am going to be teaching you a finger painting floral wreath craft for Ivana Kupala. So Ivana Kupala is basically a pre-Christian and Christian holiday celebrated on July 7th. It is the shortest night of the year and symbolizes the birth of summer. It's also on the feast day of St. John the Baptist. And all of the festivities that happen throughout the night all relate to love and foretelling the future. And I will be telling you a little bit more about all of those festivities throughout the video. I'm going to be sharing 5 beliefs and traditions about the holiday Ivana Kupala. So if you would like to do a fun little art project with me, then just keep on watching. So what you're going to need for this craft are paper towels, a plate or any paint palette for your paints. A flat surface is better just because then it's easier to dip your fingers into. 5 colors of paint. Any colors will do, anything that you want. I have a few here. If you don't have very many options, red, blue, and yellow are basically all you need. These are the primary colors. So if you have these, you can make any color you want. And then also some white paint for details in the end. But if you don't have, no worries. That's more optional. A tracer for your circle. So we're just gonna do this at the beginning to act as an outline for the wreath. So you can use any size you want your wreath to be. Just try to find a tracer that will fit that. And then a pencil, of course, paper for your floral wreath, and a surface to put everything on. First thing you're going to need is your tracer and a pencil. This is to trace the circle for the wreath. This will just act as a guideline for us so that we get a perfect circle when we're finger painting, and you just obviously go around. Okay, so the first belief or tradition about Ivana Kupala is that unmarried women would make floral wreaths out of wildflowers. So that's basically what we are doing, but we're not using real flowers. And they would put them on the lake with lit candles and send them across, hoping that the love of their life will find it on the other side. So first thing we're going to do is dip our thumb in the first color. So I'm going to start with green because I'm going to do green leaves. And we're just going to start pressing onto the circle. So for these leaves, I'm kind of pressing and dragging just to elongate the leaves a little bit. If they're too round, if you don't press and drag, then they'll be too round. And they won't really look like leaves. And if you take too much on one, you can always take actually more paint on the paper. I'm also switching directions, just because if you were making a real floral wreath, then the leaves wouldn't be all perfect all around, you know, they would be scattered in all different directions. So that's what I'm trying to imitate here. Next, I'm going to add a little bit more green leaves. So I'm going to take my thumb again, and I'm going to just take on the tip of my thumb, and I want to add a little bit more of a variety of greenery. So I'm just gonna do it right beside each leaf, and I'm just gonna dot like this. quick dotting motions. So as I was saying before about the primary colors, so if you don't have a green bottle of paint, you just mix blue and yellow paint together and that'll get you green. And if you want a lighter green, you can add white paint into the blue and yellow paints. If you want a darker green, you can add black. If you want something in between, you can add white and black. So as long as you have red, blue, yellow, white, and black paints, you can literally make any colors you want, which is pretty cool. The second belief about this holiday is that it's believed that Ivana Kupala is the only time when ferns bloom. So whoever finds one of these flowers will be granted prosperity and power. It also brings luck, wealth, and the ability to speak to animals. Next, I'm going to dip my pointer finger into red paint. And I'm gonna do little dots, 5 dots together. Or 6 dots. So it almost looks like little clumps of berries. If you use your whole finger, you can get bigger dots, but if you just take from the tip of your finger, like that, you just go lightly like this, then you can get smaller ones. So you can do big, or you can do just small, or you can do both. I'm just sort of giving you ideas of what you could do. But feel free to follow along, but also add your own little ideas into it. And I'm going to do this beside each set of greenery. You can also add more kind of in between if you think you want to add more of them, or if you think you're missing some. The third belief or tradition is that people jump over bonfires on this holiday. So if you jump over quickly, it means that you will have good health. But if you don't jump over the fire successfully, it means that you will have a troubled year ahead. Not good. Now I'm going to dip my middle finger into blue paint. I'm gonna do just a little bit. And I'm going to do little stippling motions like this. Just to make a different kind of flower. If you really liked the first flower we did, or the clumps of berries, you can do that again with a different color. Now with these sorts of flowers, I find it's best to kind of start in the middle, and then once you get a little bit of paint off your finger, then you can move towards the outside. And then you get more of the shapes around from your finger, stippling on the paper. There are these flowers in my Baba's garden that sort of have a lot of layers to them. I forget what they're called, but this kind of reminds me of them. The fourth belief is that bathing in a river or a lake on Ivana Kupala is supposed to get rid of sins and diseases because of the magical powers in the water. Okay, now I'm going to take some orange paint and dip my ring finger into it. So I'm going to take a good amount. I want to get a good circle, so like that. And I'm just going to do just circles all around. So as you can kind of see, I'm sort of working in clumps. So you have the green leaf, the other green leaf, the red, the blue flower, and now the orange. This kind of ensures that there's an even amount of each type everywhere, and makes sure that the floral wreath is balanced properly. You know that there's not too many of flowers on this side, but there's not enough on this side. Or these dots help to fill in empty spaces that we need to fill up. And the final belief for Ivana Kupala is that if there are lots of stars at night in the sky and there's dew on the grass in the morning, it's believed that the year will be fruitful. Okay, and finally I'm taking my pinky finger and dipping it into pink paint. So I mixed white and red paint to make pink. And for the last flower, I'm going to do sort of a swirl motion. So I'll just press my finger down and then swirl it like that. Okay, so now we have gotten through all 5 of our colors. So you can be done from here if you would like, or if you want to add more. I like to add a little bit of detail. So if you have white paint, you can dip, I would say pinky finger, and just take a little bit on the tip. And I'm going to go through the centers of some of the flowers. And just add a white dot. I think that adding just these tiny details in the end make the biggest difference. Because of course these aren't super realistic flowers, we're just finger painting, but adding these tiny details just makes them look a little bit more like flowers. Also, if you don't have white paint or you don't want to use white paint, you can also use a color you already used. So like the orange paint would look really nice on the red, so you can even use orange on the center as well. And I'm going to do a little bit on the blue. I'm gonna go back into the white and go on the orange ones. I'm gonna go a little bit on the side. Do sort of like it's a reflection. You know how sometimes when you see on berries or something, just the side or the end just has a little reflection of the light? So I'm kind of trying to mimic that. Okay, so now that we've added our details, we can take a look. You can leave it at this. If you want your wreath to look more full and bigger, you can always do another round of the flowers. If you want more greenery, add some greenery. If you want to add more in the center, you can add some there. If you want the center to be smaller, you can go through all of the steps we just did and do that again. Or you can pick some of your favorites and add some of those in empty areas. Okay, I think we're done here. This is the final product. Thank you so much for joining me on this art project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you maybe learned something new or interesting about Ivana Kupala. There are also activity sheets available for you. They are word searches. There's one in English and one in Ukrainian. Those will be available to you on Osadok's website, and there will be a link in the bio below this video leading you to those activity sheets if you're interested. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.